You know what? It's kind of funny when crossovers become crossovers. A lot of meta jokes, jokes that the haters always keep on giving. It really shows that Hiromashima is really aware of everything that the complainers are complaining. So if you are seeing this, then maybe you should just shut your trap and realize he is aware of your complaining and he doesn't give a crap because this is his creations. And I freaking love it. Yes, this is the spin-off non-canon version of Hero, Chapter 2. First off, a cover page detailing every single so far of the female main characters of his Trinity work. Lucy, Ellie, no, in wrong order. Ellie, Lucy, and Rebecca. Again, in this picture we can really see that Lucy and Rebecca are more looking alike than Ellie is, because after all, Ellie is the only one with short hair. The real difference is that Rebecca has pigtails, so to speak. In this episode of it all, first off, the first meta joke is of course the fact that Happy of Eden Zero is introduced to Fairy Tail, and well, along with Happy of Fairy Tail. And as many of us, me included, complained about was that why is there a Happy in Eden Zero? I was actually getting a little bit tired of Happy. I said that in my first reviews of Eden Zero as well. But here they are actually acknowledging the one thing. Well, actually, Happy of Eden Zero has two things that is different, or maybe even three things that are different from the Happy of Fairy Tail. First of all, his personality is not exactly like Happy from Fairy Tail, although that is probably not gonna come up here. The second part is, although very minor, is that the end of his tail is white, not black. And finally, as you know, if you read Eden Zero, which you probably do, and you should, is that Happy of Eden Zero, minor spoiler alert, is a robot, unlike the Happy Fairy Tail. Regardless, however, they're putting out a lot of even more, meta jokes, especially the fact that Elsie of Eden Zero looks exactly like Elsa Scarletto. It is so very funny that they are actually pointing that out. Because yes, Elsie Scarletto, Elsie Crimson from Eden Zero looks exactly like Elsa. It's not even a joke. And the fact that Shiki is pointing it out here is really the more comic moments. And the fact that, Natsu and Shiki seem to have become good friends. And when they're wondering if Pino is a rabbit. Either way, they are talking about the fact that they have lost their swordswoman in a kimono. And once again, I made a joke of the fact that sounds very much like Kagura from Fairy Tail. Well, she's not in the Fairy Tail Guild, but the character from Fairy Tail manga. And the fact that they're also pointing out that there's not supposed to be an oasis in a place like this. However, they have heard of a town nearby, so they all go out. The next meta joke is the fact that Ersa and Wendy are actually pointing out that Shiki and Natsu are looking exactly alike, which was another thing that complainers are saying, the fact that Shiki looked a lot like Natsu, the only difference being the hair color and, maybe a little bit of the personality, but that came out later. So, it is very funny of seeing that. Then we're switching to Homura Kugetsu, who seems to be in a swimsuit, whereas she has been stripped down. Either way, it seems that she had a heat stroke and fainted in the desert, and then she was arrested, all while telling I still like training. And then becomes the little bit more annoying fun part, and that is the fact that while she mentions she was training and suffered a heat stroke and arrested, the walls are talking because there are other prisoners there who begins to talk about many different annoying things. What makes this annoyingly funny is that the two characters that are arrested are actually annoying comic reliefs from Rave Master and Fairy Tail. Have anybody seen them? The Jingle Butt Gang, a very person from, well, technically it was a gang, but it's the leader here, and Ichiya from Fairy Tail. They were getting the title of annoying comic reliefs of their respective manga. So far, it's not exactly known who is the annoying comic relief of Eden Zero. But maybe that's Captain Connor. Or, well, Connor looks a little bit more likable than those things, but yeah. Eden Zero. Sorry, don't really have that annoying comic relief so far. Regardless, however, Rave Master team enters the field and defeat many things when it turns out that Griff, the perverted, well, thing, octopus, whatever, burst into the ladies' room because after all he's a pervert. He was actually known as the Scrappy of Rave Master. Elsewhere, it turns out that the real reason why the Rave Master team is here is because they want something from well, not they want something, they want to destroy something that the elder guy is having, because it turns out this entire town is an imagination, or almost an imagination. It's perhaps real, the people are maybe real, but the soldiers are not real, they are created from his imagination. So where does the Rave Master team fit in here? And it's actually a very nice point of it all, because I mean, this spin-off, I don't know how many short chapters this is going to be, and it probably won't have that much of a story, but here it actually brings in one very nice piece of story from the very first manga, and the fact that the great creator actually has a Darkbring. Do you know what that is? Well, read the Rave Master if you do not know! But in short story, the Darkbrings were the evil mad chick from the Rave Master thing. Unlike Fairy Tail and Eden Zero, the Darkbrings actually were kind of lame in my opinion. But the Rave were the only thing that could destroy the Darkbring because they were the evil thing. The great creator has a Darkbring and then uses that to, well, sustain the Oasis and everything else. But the creator saying he hasn't been died by darkness. No, I actually think it's his assistant that is the dark one. He looks a lot like the evil one. Elsewhere, Shiki and Natsu has reached the Oasis town, and who then they meet there? Well, none other than the flower with a face and arm, Nichikima. Maybe that wasn't his name. Long story short, it's a, well, sunflower with a face that was in Rave Master. Someone that Haru was very well known to hate, and who can blame him? But you know, there's a very comical chapter when he actually goes to that sunflower's hometown. Yes, that place, that creature has a hometown. That chapter is so funny. Read it! Regardless, however, the chapter ends though when they have reached Oasis town and gets confronted by two familiar people. It turns out that, as I said, the Rave Master's real goal here is to destroy the Oasis because it's actually powered by a Darkbring. And since they are actually in this town to, well, have the Oasis, and Shiki are looking for Homura, the two people misunderstand these guys the two familiar people mistake that these two main characters are actually after the Oasis. And that is actually the name of the Darkbring when I think about it. The Darkbring's name is Oasis. Or maybe it's not, but the thing they say it's the fact that it's well, actually yes, it is confirmed that the reason why they say destroy the Oasis, they do not mean the place Oasis, they mean the stone, the Darkbring stone. It is called Oasis. And the two familiar characters misunderstand the fact that they want the Oasis, so they decide to fight them. And who are they? Well, they are the last crew members of the Rave Master gang. Rave Masters Let Dahaka and Julia Line Dragoon. The dragon humans. Well, technically they're not humans, they are dragons. It's just that they have a human form. It was a very common joke in Raid Master. The fact that said, "Are you human again?" Wrong thing, I'm dragon. But they can enter a draconoid form. But they're more powerful, I think, when they're in their humanoid form. But every single time they are, people are always saying that they're humans. But they always say, no, they're dragons. But can you blame them? They look human. But yeah, these two were very well-known characters in Raid Master, and it's the last members of the gang of the Raid Master gang. Well, they had a name, but whatever. So, well, the circle is almost complete, I presume. Or are we gonna see more characters from Fairy Tail of it all? So yeah, the story brings here. There's a Darkbring, the Oasis. The Raid Master team is after that. Homura is caught by someone. Shiki is supposed to rescue her there, and Fairy Tail was just dragged into this because, well, they are Fairy Tail. This is gonna create some very comical misunderstandings, but it's going to be enjoyable to see what happens. The two main characters teaming up, though, that will be epic. So give me your thoughts if you have any.